to do what they had to do. But I have a feeling that definitely Bennett, and then we know we're all curious about the upside of Wiggins. You know, he may or may not be what people think he is, but I know what Anthony Bennett's going to be all right. And Minnesota got a good haul. They got a good haul for a guy that was walking from them, you know, and I will give them that. So if they're not a good young team for years to come within 4 years or so, then they really stink, and they completely mismanaged this opportunity, because this was good for them to be able to flip. I mean, really, I'm shocked, and I agree with Vashon in the chat room about the Cavs' desperation. That's what made it good for Minnesota to be able to maximize that. I think that they got a better haul than a lot of guys do when they are in that over a barrel position to trade their star players there. So, but it's official, it's in the books, and there you go. So the Cavaliers have their core, and you know, I would assume. I mean, what do you think? Looking at things, I mean, I don't think looking at the starting five, I think Dion starts on this team, by the way. I love him coming off the bench, though, man. But the more I look at this team, I think he may start for this team. But regardless, we'll talk about it. I'm not. I heard some people the other day. I'm not even going to throw particular people under the bus, but I actually heard discussions that went along the lines of, here's what we should be talking about on the radio today. We should be picking the song that they're going to play during the championship parade. We should be taking phone calls about the route that the parade's going to take downtown. And what's LeBron going to wear at the front of the float? And what's the first words that LeBron's going to say when they raise the trophy? I'm like, am I really listening to this? Like, I get being excited. I'm with it. Like, there's some potential here for the next few years to be really fun. But guys, I mean, let's be. I just cannot believe that's what we should be talking about. What music are we gonna play during the championship parade? Man, get there first, man. I know that they're gonna make the playoffs, but I mean, this team hasn't made the playoffs since LeBron left. You know, they've won as many games in 3 years or 4 years as LeBron doesn't won, for the most part, you know, for the time that he was gone, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying. So man, can you go from 0 to 100 that fast, man, and set yourself up for, let's see what happens with this team. They've got to see if they can play together. They've got to, I truly believe, I was telling somebody this over the weekend. I said, look, and this person does not believe the Cavaliers will win a championship at all during this grouping here. They don't believe that they will come away with any championship over the next 4 to 5 years. Thinks that they'll get close, but isn't going to win a championship. I said I slightly disagree with you. I do believe that they can win one. I believe in a 4-year run they can win a championship. I believe that it may take a year, it may take 2. That's actually what I told him. I said I think they fall short the next 2 years. I think the third season they get it done. The fourth season they get there maybe, and maybe they win it, maybe they don't, you know, but 1 in 4 years, you know, I could see, because of the way and I agree, Vashon, the key is, do they stay together that long? If they do, I do agree. I think that they will win a championship in this run. And I guess if you're Cleveland, that makes it worth it. And I can understand that, you know, but, you know, that's my thoughts. I mean, right off the bat this season, I don't know, man. I've made my thoughts clear. We'll talk more about basketball in a little bit. There's young teams coming. Chicago, you know, Derrick Rose coming back healthy. Speaking of Derrick Rose, him and Kyrie, the 2 point guards there. Actually, Kyrie, I believe, is going to start for the tune-up for the Olympics here as they try to defend their world championship there before they finalize the Olympic team. But that's the latest with that. We'll talk more about that. I know where you guys are. Listen, I'm all about it. Like, basketball is going to be a hell of a lot more fun. I sat through these seasons just like you guys. We talked about each and every one of those terrible losses. I mean, we watched them lose in every way. They invented ways to lose, you know? So, yeah, basketball is going to be a lot more fun. But I was like, man, really? I mean, I don't know, man. Well, we're not taking phone calls about what music we should play at the championship parade. Let's go watch them. Let's see if they can get to training camp together first, And these are the same cats that'll complain about not 1, not 2, not 3. Same ones that will skewer those guys for that. And then we'll say, hey, Cleveland, let's take a call in on what song should play during the championship parade. What should LeBron's first words be after we win a championship? Oh, man, let's play some playoff games first. Let's play a regular season. Hell, let's play a practice together first. And again, this is coming from a guy that's with it. I think it's going to be fun. I do think it's going to be fun, and it was fun before. That run was fun, and that run's going to be here again. Awesome that Cleveland is the center of the basketball talk and the sports talk and all of that. But I got a kick out of that. So it's all official. Everybody can start, I guess, planning the route of the parade. We'll talk more about it. But Kevin Love, officially a Cavalier. The Cavs have their 3-man core together, and we'll see. I think Ray Allen probably the last piece to add there. But we will talk more about that as we get closer to Man, we're really close to basketball already. We're a month from training camp here, so it'll be sooner than you think before we'll get a chance to see it. Oh, man, one of our listeners sent me a price sheet the other day from the Cavs opening day, not from the Q because they're sold out, but from, a secondary site. He screen capped it. It was from like a StubHub or something. I can't remember if it was StubHub, but it was a secondary ticket site. Opening night. Whew! I'm pretty sure these ticket prices were higher than the ones for the 2007 finals. I'm telling you, man. Everything was 2, 3, 4, 5, 7,000. There was ridiculous ticket prices on some of this stuff. I'm like, man, to go to opening night, man. The business of the Cavaliers is back in business, man. That is for sure. All right, man. Let's see. So let's continue moving on. You head just a little bit to the right or the left, depending on which side of the building you're on, from the Q, Progressive Field. And as I said, Indians, man, you know what? Mike Brandenberry is going to hate to hear this. He hates to hear me compare things to last year. They walked off 11 times last year. They're at 10 and counting this year, as just when doom and gloom, and obviously, you guys, I will get to the Browns last. We'll get to them in the next segment, but doom and gloom as the Browns were getting throttled and the Gladiators were not having a gladiator-like performance, the Indians what they do when nobody's paying attention to them. Bam! They come out of the woodwork. Especially, man, how down were people, and I was one of them, Friday night. Goodness gracious. Indians cannot do that. They give up 3 hits and 5 runs. How does that even happen? You know how? Because you throw the ball all over the place in the 9th inning. Friday night, I was disgusted. I was just like, guys, this is not what you do. Not a playoff team. This isn't what a bad team does, let alone what a playoff team does. But you know what? They came back. Ramirez took care of business, and they got the walk-off against the Astros, got a little bit of that feel-good back, and then, of course, Bauer followed that up, and they finished things up with taking 2 out of 3, which made it 4 out of 6. Pretty much, do the math. To get to 88 wins, I believe, I think it works out exactly like this. They win 2 out of every 3 the rest of the way. That'll get them, I believe, where they need to be to hopefully qualify for that wild card. And then, of course, if you do well as your upcoming Kansas City and Detroit, then maybe you put yourself back in the... But they've, to me, got to put themselves in that division talk first. You've got to go beat those teams. But anyway, so an interesting weekend for the Indians, but they kind of salvaged the day. Not kind of, they did salvage the night on Saturday as the one team that came through and took care of business. And what do you know, man? The last few years, they've done that a couple of times here. People, I'm just saying, a lot of the people that said, well, Indian season is over about 6 weeks ago when training camp started and all of that, man. Saturday night, they were glad the Indians game was on when they were flipping through the channels or looking at what was going on around the place. Because the Browns game was ugly. Listen, man, I don't care how big of a homer you are. The Browns game was ugly. There's some good things individually you can take out of it, but there's a lot more ugliness out of that. You know what? I want to keep going, but Indians here now, looking at the standings as they've got a day off here today. And, like I said, a week ago, last Monday, they've played 2 series since. They've won 2 out of 3 in each of those 2 series, 4 out of 6 in the last 7 days, 9 out of their last 13. And again, the difference with this run and any of the ones from earlier is the fact that they have the pitching, finally, the starting pitching. I mean, we're now a second time around through the rotation seeing these guys take care of business to where, man, that's got to change. I don't know. Am I wrong? That's got to change your outlook a little bit on the Indians here and that, because that was one of the biggest causes for concern, and the inconsistency, and you still got it defensively. I mean, 3 more errors this weekend. The Indians in Houston were competing to see who could commit the most errors. I think Houston had 4 this series. Indians had 3. That Friday night, I mean, ugly. I mean, from turning a double play, you end up giving up 4 runs, and bam, just like that. And look at the difference. Had that not happened, and you know what? The bottom of the 8th ticked me off every bit as bad as the 9th inning did on Friday, because how in the world do you screw up a golden opportunity? They should have swept this series in every sense of the word, man. If you watch these games, I mean, you get 2 on, and to butcher it that badly, where you get caught in a rundown over, somebody should have lost their job. Are we holding up Kenny Lofton at third again? You get caught in a rundown over there and end up getting yourself trapped. Then you get caught stealing third stupidly for no reason and instantly swipe out any chance of that inning that should have been a momentum-snatching inning. You should have been going into the 9th with your foot on the throat, Chicken Al going out there trying to close things out instead of that circus show that the 9th inning turned into there. And they almost did it again the next night. They did. They took care of it in the 9th, but they did it again. Had a golden opportunity, a couple of on. I can't remember if there was no outs or 1 out, but couldn't get the run across again. And I'm like, man, 2 days in a row, you guys are not going to do this. But they did flip the script the next night. I'm going to go to the phone lines. I'm going to flip the script and let you guys talk about it. Caller, you're first up on the Sports Fix.
Big Daddy. Those young Indians, baby.
My man. What's up, Big Bob? How you doing up in Connecticut?
Doing great, baby. We're going to have some nice 80 and 90-degree weather the next 4 days, which is beautiful.
There you
Good
go.
baseball
Those
weather.
Indians. How about them this weekend? Friday night, like I was just saying, Friday night had me all sorts of mad, but they did do a good job of recouping. But you can't do that. You can't. Come on, Santana. You cannot throw that ball in the outfield like that. But I'm almost more mad about the 8th. Like I was just saying, Bob. I mean, you get 2 on, you bunt the guy over, just great. You're like, okay, we're doing this right, and then you just botched that thing up as bad as you could, and you just completely ruined the momentum that you had there. They should have swept it, and when you fall short at the end of the season, you look at losing a game to Arizona, losing a game like that to Houston. Those are the ones that you kick yourself for.
Absolutely, they do. They come back to haunt you, but I'll tell you, we took 2 out of 3.
Absolutely.
2 out of 3, Big Daddy. And this young pitching staff is really coming around and giving our ace, Corey, some help that he needs. Just can't have that ace out there all the time doing it. Got to have these young ones stepping up. Great to see Carlos coming on. Like I told you before, he's going to be our number 2 starter. Next year he's going to be pushing Mr. Kluber, which is fine for me. But we're set. We're set. We're like I said, we're still going to the World Series. We're going to win it this year because we are still under the radar. Nobody believes, and that's what I like. I don't want none of these commentators on TV or my buds over at ESPN. I don't want none of them mentioning our young Cleveland Indians. I don't want nothing to get changed because we're playing. We are playing. And Tuesday, we got to take it to Chicago. We got to take this series.
That's going to be, Chicago
they've been manhandling us
strong,
this year.
Man. Yeah.
And we got to take it to them, one game at a time, and I think we will. I mean, we got 2 division foes right away. So
you brought up Carrasco, man. I'll tell you what. even though Carrasco didn't get the win the other night or Friday night, and
Fabulous.
he obviously
Right.
didn't figure in the loss. But yeah, look at him. He was out there. A couple of things I noticed is the Indians said that they want him to be more aggressive and more going after guys in the early innings of the game, and he came right out. And if you guys